Hi, my name is Eric and I'm with Driven Industries, and I want to thank you for watching this video with me today. This video today is extremely touching and extremely close to me, and it's about suicide and healing. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, you'll know that I'm very big in suicide awareness, and suicide has affected me. I lost a wife and I lost a dad to suicide. It's something that I could have never pictured and never imagined. And throughout that, I found that there were not a lot of resources that I could really find that kind of went over a little bit of ideas to how to heal through this process. It's a lot of different emotions. I've ran into individuals who they feel guilty for almost being happy in a sense, and don't take that the wrong way. And I mean by happy in a sense of somebody who commits suicide, somebody with mental illness. This is a disease. It's something that you cannot touch and feel. It's kind of like having cancer. It's kind of like addiction. It's there, but it's not there. And these people don't want their loved ones to suffer anymore, and they're not suffering anymore. And now all of a sudden they feel this emotion, they go in a downward spiral into depression and into drinking or into seeking ways to numb their mind. It's something that needs to be talked about. And I wanted to share with you just some of the things that I came across when it came to when it really is suicide and what it really is of healing through it. Because I can tell you this, with the experiences that I had, I love to share my story now. And I'm very passionate, very excited when I get to talk about it, because I don't know what the stranger next to me is going through. And so much of what we go through is all communication. And somebody who's suffering inside, them being able to get it off their chest and to let you know and to share isn't a burden, because you're not a close family member, you're not a close friend, you're not a wife, you're not a husband, you're not a son, you're not a daughter, you're not a brother. You're an individual that's the burden they carry, they feel they can release to you. And so when we bring awareness to this, it's so important. And it allows us to talk a little bit more. And I found with a lot of individuals, the more they were able to share with me, then all of a sudden they started involving their family in a little bit of what they were feeling. And that leads to a great amount of healing. And it leads to a great amount of change. And so one of the things that you'll find with our company, with Driven Industries, is we're a clothing company and we're about growth and we're about success and the journey of life. But one of the things that drives me is suicide awareness. And so we're very active on social media. Probably right now the most active on Twitter. I put out a daily video even on mine that says, hey, if you're hurting, if you're suffering, hit me up. I've ended up talking to a lot of great individuals, of some that were possibly going to relapse that needed someone to talk to, some of those that have lost some loved ones and are going through the grieving stages, because it's something very hard for us to relate to other individuals or feel that we can relate with other individuals if they haven't experienced it. And since I've been through this, I've learned that it's been very easy to get families and get individuals to talk to me. So one of the things that I did is I took to my Twitter account and I asked a lot of questions. And so bear with me here a minute as I pull this up. So what I ended up posting, I posted this and I pinned my tweet, and it's still up. I've lost a wife and a father to suicide in the last 3 years. Prevention and awareness has become huge for me. I wanted to know if anyone had tips on what they did for healing if you've been affected by it. And the response I got was amazing. I was blown away by the response that I got. I had a lot of people just reaching out saying, hey, if you need somebody to talk to, if you need support, let me know, which that alone and myself is healing right there, because knowing that others care on a human level is an amazing feeling. These individuals that I don't even know reaching out to me and letting me know, hey, I'm here if you just need a voice to talk to. I don't know them, they don't know me, but they're willing to take time out of their day to let me share with them. I had to say that was an extremely powerful moment when I started getting those messages back. Another message that I got was going into, making sure that you stay sober. I believe sobriety during this time is very important, whether you're an addict or not, because this is a traumatic experience. The more that you numb your mind, I feel, the more that you're not able to be there for your family if you need to be there, or be there for your friends. You have to be able to be there in the cleanest, sanest mind as possible, to be the best support as possible, because together you're stronger, but apart you're weaker. So be that sound rock, be that sound individual there that you can listen, and you start sharing the stories, and you start healing. Because the more that I found you share, the more healing that happens. And that's one of the things I've shared with everybody that I've talked to when it comes to if they've been affected by suicide, is share your story. If it was your son, share it. If it was your dad or a best friend, the more that you share their story, the more happiness also that kind of fills you in, because this person isn't forgotten. And their legacy is living on, and that's what it's all about. Prayer and faith was another one that someone told me. And I agree with that. I'm a very spiritual person. I don't push belief upon anybody, because I believe there's as many different religions as there are people. And it's that time that you really reach in and you go to your higher power. And meditation and spending some self-time for some self-awareness of keeping your head in check and thinking of the individual and thinking of the situation really brings a lot of soothing. The self-maintenance during this time, especially in the very beginning, if you've lost a loved one, self-maintenance is extremely important. And it's not being selfish, and it's not closing yourself off, I feel that you have to self-maintain to keep your own sanity, in a sense. It's a traumatic experience, and sometimes with suicide there's closure and sometimes there's not. I've experienced 2 different suicides. One of them had closure, one of them had notes and was very laid out and very structured. And the other one didn't. One of them was my wife, and one of them was my dad. My dad's was not a structured closure. My wife's was. Very different feelings. But when you believe in that higher power, and you sit back and you realize it's okay to smile about the good memories, that alone starts the healing process, and you realize that it is okay. Reaching out for support is another huge one. Reaching out for support is one of the biggest ones that you can do, because when you know you're not alone, and you're not alone in the emotions, that right there is a powerful healing tool also. There are different support groups out there, and I do link some of them to in my website. Check us out at areyoudriven.com. And if you go into the blog section, I do have a bunch of different blogs and suicide and healing through suicide, because I want to give as many resources as I can when it comes to this, and when it comes to the emotions and the feelings inside, because we do have the opportunity to really isolate ourselves. And when we are hurting this bad, it's one of the times that you definitely, I feel personally, cannot isolate yourself. You have to be involved, whether it is with your church and so forth. The other things that I found are helping others is actually a really good one, and a couple different people brought that up. I found, even with myself, that helping others through this time, it's really helped me heal at the same time. When I reach out and I'm able to share the story, the healing that goes on inside is one of those that it really brings upon the good memories, and that's what we start to really remember, are the good memories, to know that this person isn't hurting. And it's amazing how we can all relate and go into that. This person was in a very dark place. As much as we love them, they unfortunately felt that they were a burden to us, and they didn't want to share because they didn't want us to feel the pain that they felt. And when we get together and we support as a group, it truly helps and heal in that way. One of the other things is that somebody told me is journaling, write it down. And I found out I had a lot of great healing in that. I found out the more that I wrote out my emotions and my thoughts, I could really go, okay, why do I feel this way? And take that step back that I needed to not be quite as emotionally involved, and be a little bit more logically involved than what I was. Another one that I ended up looking here, was it's okay to be happy. And it's hard. Everybody's going to tell you, don't feel guilty, it wasn't your fault. And you instantly ask, what could I have done differently? What could I have done to change this person's life? Why didn't they reach out to me? You have to release the guilt. And again, it comes back to support and faith, but also remembering that it's okay to be happy. It is okay to be happy. Your loved one wanted you to be happy. They did this because they felt they were a burden. And so when you have those moments of joy, treasure them and enjoy them, because that's what helps start getting you through it. And I talked to a lady for over an hour one time on the phone, and she really felt guilty about feeling happy. And by the end of it, we really came up and realized together it was okay to be happy. You know, there's no more suffering anymore, and it's okay to know that they're okay now, and they're watching down upon us. So one of the things I found is reach out even on social media. You know, there's great support groups out there. You'll probably end up running across us. I'm very active in suicide awareness and mental health, and knowing it's okay to be not okay. So I hope that you get a little bit out of this, and maybe you find a tool, whether it be in your faith and helping others, you know, finding a passion that, you know, you can direct that energy towards, like I have with Driven by a Cause, and really make a difference and let their story and legacy live on, because that's what it's all about. So I would love to have you share your story with me. I'd love to have you reach out to me. Comment down below. Come to our website. Find us on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Reach out and share with me your story, because we never know who our story is going to reach. We never know the stranger next to us and what they're going through, or what somebody's going through looking on the internet even, that finds something that speaks to them that goes, hey, it's okay. I want to try and reach out. I want to change. I want to stop the suffering. Awareness is the biggest thing that we can do when it comes to really healing, when it comes to suicide. So again, this is something that's very passionate of mine. If you couldn't tell, you'll see that I have a decent amount of videos up, and they continue to come up on suicide awareness and healing through the process. So I want to thank you for watching this, and I want to ask you just one question. What drives you? I want to thank you for watching. Make sure you click the subscribe button and check out our channel for more videos.